Hello. So I thought I would do a series of videos on Aristotle's book, The Art of Rhetoric. And in this video I'll begin with the first chapter, titled Chapter 1. And in this chapter Aristotle, by means of comparison, paints a picture of what rhetoric is and what it's about. And he does this by comparing rhetoric with the method of dialectic, which Plato outlined in his dialogues. So he says dialectic has a goal which is the pursuit of truth, whereas rhetoric, on the other hand, is concerned with persuasion. Dialectic is concerned with certainty, so things are fundamentally true or they're false, and there's nothing in between. And if there is uncertainty about whether something is true or false, that highlights a need to go deeper and understand the causal mechanisms. However, on the other hand, rhetoric is concerned with probabilities. It's primarily concerned with the future. It's concerned with things that we can't know for certain, and it's still things that are still at the whim of fate, of nature, of people's emotions. It's really a method of sense making in a world that's imperfect. And this contrasts with the dialectical method, which is very much like the analytical method in philosophy, or the methods of mathematics, which are concerned with the ideal, the forms, things that are defined to be true by fiat or axiomatically, in the sense that our number theory is based on axioms. Our mathematics is based on principles that are kind of defined as true by right. Rhetoric, on the other hand, is for a world where the truth is something that's fuzzier. It's something that is constantly being delivered and exists within the realm of time. It's something that is held as opinion and disputed. He also talks about the difference between rhetoric and dialectic in terms of what they are. To him, rhetoric is a form of techne. Techne is a technique or a skill or a tool, whereas dialectic is something else. It's something deeper. It's a way to connect with the reality as an end in itself, whereas rhetoric is a tool which allows a person to attain a given end that they're seeking to attain in the world as they go about their day-to-day lives. The stage for rhetoric and the stage for dialectic are also different. Aristotle says that rhetoric is used in public affairs, in the courts, in the workplace, or in this instance, Aristotle talks about in the public sphere, in the political context, or simply with one's friends and family, or to settle commercial disputes. Dialectic, on the other hand, is primarily for philosophical debate, the type of debate that Socrates had in the dialogues with his interlocutors. Both methods are for argumentation, but it's rhetoric which is more accusatory. If you're prosecuting someone, or if you're the defendant and you're defending yourself from accusations, it's more personal in that sense. Whereas dialectic is more about ascertaining a truth that's impartial and inexhaustible, or consumption of that truth doesn't reduce its availability to other people. And then there comes the actual methods of proof. Aristotle says that in rhetoric you use something called an enthymeme. That basically means that you prove something by drawing a likeness to that thing without actually going into the reasons why that likeness proves a statement. So you'd say, all men are mortal, Socrates is mortal, without saying that Socrates is a man. There are kind of implied or inferential statements within the argument that need to be teased out, whereas a method of dialectic would lay everything out plainly and there'd be no need to infer what the assumptions are underpinning the argument. And that's the method of enthymeme. So, in a nutshell, this is the palimpsest, or the kind of boundary that Aristotle has drawn around the art of rhetoric and what rhetoric is for. And he's very careful in the chapter to say that these methods are not to be used for dishonest purposes, to deceive people. They're to be used to put forward the most compelling argument in the public domain, in the real world, for true opinion, and not to be a dissuader. He's very keen to make that argument, and he ends it there. So I think we'll leave it there today, and that's all we have for chapter 1. And hopefully I can have chapter 2 with you as soon as possible. Thank you.